For number 20, in the radicals and complex numbers section, you want to basically just simplify this. But in order to simplify radicals or combine them, they have to have the same radicand. Alright, so the number underneath the radical needs to be the same, and the index has to be the same. Since all of these are square roots, they're all going to have the same index. We just need to see if we can get any of them to have the same number underneath the radical. So in order to do that, you're going to need to simplify each number, so break it down. 72 breaks down into 9 and 8. If you break down 9 further into 3 and 3, 8 goes to 4 and 2, then you can split 2 and 2 there. So from 72, you have a pair of 3s, so I'm going to circle one, cross one off. You have a pair of 2s, circle one, cross one off, and then this 2, since it doesn't have a pair, is going to have to stay underneath the radical. We could do the same thing with the x to the fourths, or another way you can think of it is this is a square root, so you can think how many groups of 2 would grow into x to the fourth, since there'd be 2 groups of 2. So you can go ahead and bring out an x squared, and there'd be no x's left over. So on the outside of your radical, you have 3 times 2 times x squared, with the square root of 2 left over. So really we just have 6x squared, square root of 2. We're going to do the same thing with the 50. 50 breaks down into 10 and 5, and then 10 goes to 5 and 2. So you have a pair of 5s, so I'm going to circle one, cross one off. This one's pretty simple, it's just 5 radical 2. So what's interesting to note about these already is that they do both have the same number underneath the radical. However, if you look at the numbers that are in front of the radicals, we can't add 6x squared and 5 together because they're not like terms. So far we can't really combine anything. Let's see if this last one gives us anything. 32 you can break down into 8 and 4. And then 8 breaks down into 4 and 4, or 4 and 2 rather. I could sit there and break down the 4s, but really this is all I need, because once you get a pair of a numbers, if you don't need to break it down any further, I see that I have a pair of 4s, so I'm going to circle one, cross one off. So what this one's going to look like is minus 4. There was already an x squared out there, so it's going to stay there, and then that 2 was left over, so square root of 2. So it looks like we can combine this first radical and this last one. So our final answer would be 2x squared, because 6x squared minus 4x squared, radical 2, that radical never changes when you add or subtract, plus 5 square root of 2. And there's your final answer.
Made with Doodlecast Pro.